You're not allowed to know.
Green cupcakes.
Cupcake kings. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Go, Jagua!
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So hi, how's everyone doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing fine.
Okay, well, we just had lunch. Now is, I think, a good time for some dessert. So our business is called Y Business, and Y Cupcake. I'm the CEO, William Wang.
I'm the creative designer and director, Amber. And this is our team.
This is our team, yeah.
Introduce yourself. What's your name?
I'm Lisa. I'm Candice. I'm Karen. I'm Louis. I'm
I'm Frank.
I'm Samuel. CFO. Hi.
Okay, so our business slogan is to have fun making it. Now we believe that the customer should have the ability to design, create, and experience the cupcake rather than simply buying and eating the cupcake. So let's start off with a few questions first. Now, how many of you think that cupcake stores are sometimes far and they're not too accessible?
And how many of you think the cupcake is too ugly that you don't want to buy it?
Now, how many of you think that vending machines nowadays are quite boring?
And how many of you think the cupcake is too high calories that you don't want to eat it anymore?
But what we've created, our solution is a cupcake vending machine that features a visible process in which you can see your cupcake be frosted to your choice.
And do it by your own, by yourself, and organic and healthy.
Here we have some designs for possible toppings you can choose on your cupcake, and in order to compensate for the digital economy today, we've included WeChat Pay, Alipay, and Apple Pay for payment methods. Above we see a cartoon just simply illustrating the process of how someone might want to have cupcakes one day but notice that the stores are closed, and now they see our vending machine and they see a new feature on it, this ability to be able to customize what cupcake they want. So I'm going to begin by first talking about our approach. First of all, our vending machine is going to be placed in areas where we believe our target customer segment, which are mainly young people and children, are going to be mostly active in. So that includes places such as movie theaters, schools, and certain theme parks. As I mentioned earlier, our product is a DIY cupcake vending machine that features a visible topping process, and the technology we've included is a kind of image identification and printing technology in which users are able to upload any images of their choice onto the machine and have that printed as design and frosting onto the cupcake of their choice. As for the offline and online sector, my colleague Amber here will discuss and share with you guys later.
Yes.
And we know that market potential is a large part for deciding in what to invest in, and so now I'm going to talk about that. So our opportunity mainly comes from four sectors: from the economy, the market, and the vending industry, and the technology we provide itself. Here we see a bar chart of average consumption expenditure here in the United States, and we see relatively steady growth from January of 2016 all the way till 2018, and we're quite optimistic that it's going to keep growing as well. Again, the vending industry is quite a large business, raking up around $30 billion every year, and to put that into perspective, that means around 100 million Americans will use one of 7 million vending machines each day. Over here in this chart, we see that of the average American's expenditures, food is ranked at third at 14%, and we have entertainment at 5% ranked at number 6. And now that may not be as much as housing and transportation, but we believe that's still enough to be convincing in terms of market potential. So we can conclude that there's definitely market potential for the cupcake industry and the vending industry in general. Now our target customers, as I mentioned earlier, we're targeting mainly the young generation of people and children aged under 15. So the young generation of people basically includes people aging from 15 to 30 years old. Some of their key characteristics include they're very individualized, they like customization, they have a high frequency in terms of internet usage, so that means they like to share photos on Instagram, Snapchat, social media, and we believe that's also going to help us later on in marketing. As well as for children, they're mostly curious, they're sweet-toothed, and at the same time, them or their parents are willing to pay a premium for a product, for example, the experience we provide, apart from simply just a cupcake. Now my colleague's going to discuss with everyone the user interface and the marketing strategy we have.
Okay, so let's move on to the user interface. So basically we have a two-part, and the little pink one down below is the first part, as you can see. is our screen on the machine. We probably have a two screen, which is suit the adult side and the kids side, so they both get it. And we are trying to imitate like a video game, like a cupcake making video game, make it a lot more fun to attract kids, which is our majority of the target customers. And the other part is the user interface on the app and website. So we allow customers to DIY their own kind of cupcake, to choose their flavors, to choose the toppings and like ingredients to get what they want. And they'll get a QR code, and when they take the QR code, go straight to the machine and push the button, make it, you will see the magic starts. And the machine is starting to make a noise, and the cool stuff came out, the kids is yelling, and oh, this is a cool machine, yeah, and they both get what they want. And that is basically the machine will be look like. Yeah. So I'm gonna move on to talk about marketing, which is one of our most important part of our product, because as you will see later on the cost benefit analysis, the reason why our number is a little bit above average is that we accounted the marketing effects beforehand, which is pretty much accelerate our like the speeds to gain our revenue. And yeah, the first thing we're gonna do is to set a Guinness World Record for the world biggest cupcake, and we're gonna collaborate with other companies to host other theme events, and we're gonna use the social media icon to enlarge our popularity. And then we're gonna design a mascot to strengthen our brand image. So in this way, the white cupcake is not just going to be a vending machine. Instead, it's gonna be a brand with character. Yeah.
Very good.
Thanks.
Now I'll be discussing the competition sector. Now we know that the cupcake industry and the vending industry itself is quite competitive. And our main competitors here, we see there's actually only one main competitor, which is that's called Sprinkles Cupcake. And they're an industry that also has a vending machine, except the difference between them and us, what differentiates us from them is that we offer a process visualization section, and we are customizable in terms of what toppings you want to choose to put on your cupcake. From the chart, we can easily see that white cupcake, because it's a vending machine, we operate 24 hours. Our price is selling at $6 per cupcake, and we're fully customizable. And we don't see that with many other of our competitors, except for some, such as the baking experience room, which is also provides customizability, except you'd have to go to the store physically, and they're also going to probably be more time consuming in terms of customizing and getting to the store. To make this more visual, we see that on this chart, the only company that is similar to us in the sense of customizability and 24-hour operation is Sprinkles Cupcakes, but as I mentioned earlier, our competitive advantage lies in that we have a visible process and we focus on selling the entertainment process. So we're not only selling a product, we're mostly focusing on selling a process of entertainment, of satisfaction and fulfillment. So the experience really matters with us. So now I'm going to briefly talk about our revenue model. Our revenue model will definitely mainly come from three sections. The first being from direct sales of cupcakes, so we'll earn money from that. Secondly, we'll have potential advertising income, and so that means we'll have advertisements on the interface of our machine itself, as well as we'll be holding various themed events jointly with other companies as a marketing strategy as well. As for e-commerce, we have, as she mentioned, an online store on our mobile application in which our users can download on their smartphones. And this store will sell things ranging from pre-made cupcakes to ingredients for making cupcakes yourself. Now briefly, our cost-benefit analysis. We see that there's some large figures up here right now, but if we really shrink them down here, we see that our machine costs around $1,500 per machine, and over each year, we're going to be distributing around 1,450 machines. We're hopeful of that. And as for the cupcakes, it costs $2 to make one. We're going to sell for $6, and so we'll have a 33.3% profit per cupcake. And we're estimating that we'd be able to sell around 150 cupcakes per machine per day. We also estimate that the first few years of our sales are going to be relatively flat, but starting from the third year, specifically 3.3rd year, we'll reach our break-even point, in which we'd be able to start returning to our investors. As far as financing plans go, we're asking today for $5 million. to implement our business and start everything going. As far as milestones go, we've planned that by January we're going to finish our prototyping this month and then start product development next month. In June we're going to begin making our app prototype and we're going to put that into production. As well as in October, we're going to start the advertising, the launching of our application, and the entire operation of our project. And this is our team. Thank you very much.
Want me to start?
Yeah.
I'm glad that you speak very fast, sir. Because you just made it under the 10-minute mark. That helps. I think it's pretty complete. I mean, I understood what you're trying to do.